Hello and welcome to Accent Excellence. I'm Chuck Lionberger. Coming up on this special edition, we're going to take you on a sneak peek of the Cave Spring High School project in progress right now. Don't go anywhere. Accent Excellence starts next. Hi, and welcome back to Accent Excellence. Joining me is Mike Ray. And Mike, you promised you were taking me to Cave Spring High School. I don't even know where we are. This looks so different than the last time we were here.
It will be completely different. And it is so exciting to see what it's turned into. You really see the walls up. We have a mock room set up that you can actually see what a classroom is going to look like. And it is just, I mean, you can see the workers out here now. They're just, it's all systematic. Everything's going together, and we're exciting. It's 50 to 60% complete, according to the architect.
And so we're moving along. So, you know, the goal, of course, is to have this ready for the start of the 2020-2021 school year. And at this point, looks like, you know, all stations are go here.
We're on target for that, for the opening, and we also the budget. So that's important.
You know, we said all along when we first started this project and got really underway back in January that when the students came into this building, it was effectively going to be a brand new high school. I think we're seeing that, aren't we?
Yes, Chuck, it's just completely different. No hexagon, no sunken library that used to flood some. You know, all the rooms, everything, it's just gutted. I mean, it's actually a new school inside. Everything's different.
It's fascinating as we all have kind of watched over the months this slowly come together. It's almost like building a great big jigsaw puzzle as well.
It is. And you know, when I was here talking to the superintendent, and you know, I said, how do you put these pieces together? And he was explaining a little to me about what's going on and how they're working in coordination with each other. And it's like a puzzle, putting it together and putting the final, you know, get the final pieces put together.
This, of course, you know, what we're seeing now came with a lot of planning, and it's pretty gratifying to see that planning starting to pay off.
Yes, it is. And, you know, we were up and we were down and we didn't know what to do, and then we got a high bid, we got, you know, we were just in a turmoil until, you know, and it all came together, and it really is, and you can see not only the plans came together, but the buildings coming together.
You know, we also need to give another tremendous shout out to the students and staff who are right now in a modular campus and, you know, really doing pretty well.
They are doing wonderful. I'm over there probably a couple times, you know, every 2 weeks or so, and making sure everything is going well. Mm-hmm. Do they need anything? And I tell you, talking to the students, staff, they're so positive about this. They have, I'm so amazed, and I just tell the seniors when I meet different seniors, and I say, we'll give you a personal tour, you know, when we get finished, because they won't have the pleasure of coming into this school, but there's still a night, and there'll always be a night.
Right. Now, it's actually pretty exciting. We're standing right now in a brand new area of the school. This is part of the new science wing that's getting ready that is literally, as we speak, going up around us.
That's exactly right, and you'll have the 6 science labs and the lab in the center, you know, the wet rooms and things that they were going to have, and it is just amazing to see this new construction on this side of the building. But I mean, it's new construction inside the building as well. So.
We're going to take a look at that in a minute, but one of the pieces I wanted to talk about, and this was an area that was a part of a concern for the old building, was at times when we got really heavy rain, we would get flooding down here. That's not going to be the case anymore.
Not anymore. And in fact, that was one of my things that really I wanted to make sure was taken care of. And the water will run down the front of the building, and the water will run into the holding tanks on the end of the building, and then released at released in a slower flow, and no more flooding. And every time I come over, I said, what have you done this? And they cutting the knoll off in the back where this water will flow right on down.
So you were talking about going inside. Let's go take a look inside and see just all the transformation that's taking place.
Sounds great.
Okay, so Mike, now we're inside here, and you know what, I got to tell you, I'm actually kind of a little lost right now. Where are we?
Chuck, I agree totally. I was lost until I've been coming over every week, and now I see where in the rooms are and what's the shape of the rooms, and but you're lost when you walk in because this used to be the sunken area.
Right.
Where the library was, and that's it's all built up. You wouldn't know it. That's the thing about the renovation in the school. It's going to be totally new.
Yeah. So right now, we're literally in the media center. If we were in the old school, we'd be literally down about 3 or 4 feet right now, sunken in, and of course that's all been filled in. This way is the main entrance. That way is the cafeteria, and when students walk in for the start of the next school year, I really do think some of them are going to kind of be lost because they're just the frames of reference of, oh, I remember where this is. They're all gone.
Oh no, hexagon's gone, everything's gone. And when they'll come in, they'll recognize, well, yeah, the auditorium's over here, the gym's over here, and this hallway I remember, now I'm lost.
Yeah.
They will be, it'll be such a great learning environment.
Now, one of the also things really kind of cool to point out is what's up above us right now, and all the natural lighting that is being kind of included and woven into this new school.
It is, and that's what's exciting because the school was so dark for so long, been inside and you didn't have much natural light. With these lighting and the skylights that are in various places, you're bringing in that natural light, and you can see the classrooms having these clear story windows, which actually will draw that light into the room besides, the natural light. And that's what, you can see how light it is now.
Right.
You wouldn't have that with just a solid, ceiling. So.
Another nice piece, and you can kind of see it behind us here and also all around are the nice wide corridors.
Yes.
That was a major problem there in the hexagon, especially that area where the hexagon and the annex came together. Massive bottleneck, but again, those days are done.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All pressure points, and then it would clog up. You'd have to have staff out there, keep moving, don't stop, and now they're wide. You only have lockers. You have about 250 lockers, which kids don't use, students don't use lockers like they used to. And you've got them, but look at all these wide corridors. This is just amazing.
There's a tremendous amount of attention has been paid to functionality. There's another area in the school where they're going to have just some extra spaces for like breakout sessions, and of course the relocation of the night and day cafe is going to be a great student area for students to just congregate.
And you've opened it up with the windows and being able to look out, and feel that feeling of having the outside come into you. And the kids were, the students excited about what has happened in the learning centers. You're able to break out, you go out, you have an area you can go to rather than being in a classroom and not being able to say, well, all right, let's have this session right now before we go or after, class. So there's plenty of areas that are there for the students.
Well, we've got one more treat for you though. We've got a sneak peek of what one classroom will kind of sort of look like. It's still kind of in its mock-up phase right now, but we wanted to give you that sneak peek. So let's go show them what's going on.
Great.
All right, so Mike, this is that treat we talked about. This is one of the mock-up classrooms, and already, wow, what a difference.
Exactly. Even this is not all the furniture's here, and you can look around and see how much open space, the desk space that you got, the storage space. So it's just, and you got your clear story light windows, which are bringing in that natural light. It's just
This is a nice space, and when you compare this back to the previous classrooms, this is so much larger.
Yes, larger and able to open up so much more, especially with the different types of furniture that we're going to have.
And one of the things that also I really kind of appreciate, and you look at the color scheme already, and this is just a mock-up classroom, but already this says Cave Spring High School. We've got red and black, red and gray here.
Red and black, yes, so, exactly right. You brought that into the classrooms, and it's important. That's the tradition we have. So
it's going to be a fantastic project, and so we gave a tour earlier for the media and the other board members, and I think everybody's going to be really excited to get this thing wrapped up.
So exciting, and to see that it's coming together as quickly as it is, on time and on budget. So it's really exciting to see it come together.
It's been a fantastic project. So thanks for walking around with us, taking us a little tour. Stay right there. More Accent Excellence is still to come.
Our four-legged friends make us smile all year long. Isn't it time we return the favor? The Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection needs your help to help keep these pets happy and healthy. Our goal is to keep pets in loving homes and out of shelters. You can make this happen by donating to the RCACP Food Pantry any time of the year. The following donations are needed: canned cat and dog food, dry cat and dog food, cat litter, and toys. Residents who need to pick up food can do so at 1510 Baldwin Avenue Northeast.
Hi, and welcome back to Accent Excellence. We're proud to present the 2019 State of the Schools Address. So here's Roanoke County School Board Chairman Don Butzer.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here to talk about the state of Roanoke County Public Schools and to be the warm-up act for Chairman North. In short, our schools and our students continue to excel in all areas. Once again, our students exceeded state and national averages in college entrance tests, including SATs, ACTs, as well as advanced placement exams. We are proud of the consistently high on-time graduation rates that our students have achieved since this measurement was introduced. Our students are earning millions of dollars each year in scholarships, earning thousands of certifications as well. I'm proud to say that when our students graduate from the Roanoke County Public School systems, that they've received an outstanding education. Our citizens are getting an incredible return on the investment. Of the 132 school districts in the state, only 5 school districts have higher student performance with lower per pupil spending costs. That's quite an achievement. But we're also preparing those students for life after high school in many other ways. Before I get to that, though, allow me to introduce my fellow school board members. Vice Chairman Tim Greenway of the Vinton District, David Linden of the Hollins District, Jason Moretz of the Windsor Hill District, and Mike Ray from the Cave Spring District. I'd also like to introduce our outstanding superintendent, Dr. Kenneth Nicely, as well. For those of you who were here last year, we asked you a question. We asked, how has education changed over the past 20 years? This year, if you'd indulge us, we'd like to ask another question. How has your business changed over the past 20 years? And more importantly, what kind of skills do you need for future employees? If you don't mind, I'd like to have you just talk around your tables for a couple of minutes, and we'd like some feedback, and we'll just give you a couple of minutes to do that. So in essence, how has your business changed? And the feedback that we're looking for is, what kind of skills do you think you need as a result of that change in your businesses? Please proceed. Here are some of the key, thank you very much. Here are some of the key skills that we think our students need to develop. Communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, and citizenship. We call these skills opportunity-ready skills because you've told us before that these are the skills that our students need to develop to become opportunity-ready, ready to take advantage of the many opportunities that will be coming their way. You've heard us discuss opportunity-ready for several years during these events. We believe so strongly in helping our students become opportunity-ready that we've included this phrase in our newly designed seal. Through the development of these skills, our students ultimately experience deeper learning that is engaging and purposeful. It's through deeper learning experiences that our students begin to apply instruction. Deeper learning also involves the purposeful use of a variety of instructional strategies such as problem-based learning and design challenges that focus on problem solving. Our superintendent's 2020 vision is to see deeper learning be a consistent experience of every student in every school and every classroom. This year, we are focusing on exploring innovation in our instruction, Roanoke County Public Schools, but how do you teach innovation? Remember those opportunity-ready skills that I mentioned earlier? That's where innovation is born. Innovation requires communications, critical thinking, and collaboration, and we must always remember that innovation should be grounded through good citizenship, including coming to school on time and being respectful to one another. Roanoke County Public Schools is part of the new Virginia's for Learners Innovation Network, where we are working with the Virginia Department of Education, James Madison University, and the Virginia Consortium for Learning to develop a statewide innovation network that promotes implementation of deeper learning. Expand into school equity and increase learning engagement, all these strategies align with the statewide profile of a Virginia graduate. Innovation takes many forms. We're innovating education beyond the core curriculum because we know that learning doesn't happen in a vacuum. Culture and climate play a huge role in student experiences, and we are implementing a nationwide program called Positive Behavioral Innovations and Supports, or PBIS. This is a major initiative that Roanoke County Public Schools is undertaking. And its goal of PBIS is to create a culture of kindness in our schools and our community. PBIS is an evidence-based prevention and intervention practice that supports academic, social, emotional, and behavioral environmental skills. There are three main priorities of the PBIS program in Roanoke County Public Schools: be safe, be respectful, be responsible, and we also stress be kind. Kindness is so important these days. The more we create a culture of positivity, the more we can help students more easily and more readily overcome negative behaviors and influences such as bullying. While our school system is outstanding, like many other school systems across the nation, we also face some challenges. I'll talk a little bit about our facilities. 9 of our 27 schools are in need of significant renovation right now. We have an obligation to provide our students with schools that afford the best instructional experience. About half of our schools were constructed or last renovated more than 20 years ago. 6 schools have not seen any significant improvement since the late 60s or early 70s. State funding has not kept up with inflation, especially when you look at construction costs. Construction costs in some cases have gone up 19–20% in the past couple of years in a good economy. We are operating essentially at the same level of funding from a decade ago when accounting for inflation. That places the burden for funding on the localities to cover that gap. At the current funding levels, it will take decades to update the 9 schools that are most in need of renovations. By that time, many of our schools will start to need significant upgrades. And when you look on your slides, by the time we get to, I believe, 2048 Penn Forest, I'll be serving my 8th term on the school board and celebrating my 100th birthday. We're working with the Board of Supervisors to explore options to accelerate the renovations. We're thankful for the strong partnership we have with the Board of Supervisors. We've been working with them several months to solve or help find a way to solve the renovation issue. Speaking of updating our facilities, we're making very good use of our existing funding. There's a lot of emphasis being placed on using whatever surplus money we have to make sure that our schools are bright, clean, and safe, and that the HVAC works in all of our schools, so we're doing that as well. And we're well on our way with the completion of the renovation of Cave Spring High School. You can see here just how far we've come in this project. When students return for the start of the 2020-2021 school year, they will be walking into what is essentially a brand new school building. I'd like to thank Board Member Mike Ray for his dedication on this project, and also I'd like to commend the students and staff at the Cave Spring High School for their perseverance as we've completed this renovation. I can tell you that Mr. Ray has visited that site once a week since the day we broke ground. He's always there, much to the chagrin of the construction superintendent. We're in the process of planning our next major project, the renovation of William Byrd High School. We made some improvements back in 2011, but now it's time to bring the late 60s era high school up to modern standards. We will begin construction on this project in late 2021. In closing, we are committed to providing the leadership and resources to maintain a strong, competitive, effective school system here in Roanoke County. We believe this is a key in economic development as communities want to locate where there's a strong educational system, and we believe we have that here in Roanoke County. And in closing, I'd also like to wish you and all of your families a safe and joyous holiday season. And with that, I'll turn it over to Chairman North. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Butzer. And don't go anywhere. More Acts and Excellence is still to come.
The Roanoke County Sheriff's Office presents RAD, the Rape Aggression Defense Program. RAD is a comprehensive self-defense course only for women that begins with awareness, prevention, risk reduction, and avoidance, while progressing to the basics of hands-on defensive training. Students must attend all 4 classes to complete the course. Simulation is strictly voluntary, and students can complete the course if they choose not to volunteer, but they must be present. For more info, call 540-283-3107.
Hi, and welcome back to Accent Excellence. Joining us again is Dr. Jessica McClung. She's one of our assistant superintendents here at Roanoke County Public Schools. And we're also very happy to have Kimberly Yannick with us from Old Dominion University. And Kim and Jess, we're starting a new program here at Roanoke County Public Schools, something I think we're very excited about. It's called PBIS. And so Kimberly, we'll start with you and kind of the most obvious question. Just what is PBIS?
Sure. So PBIS stands for Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports, and it is currently being implemented in almost 26,000 schools in this country and other countries as well. And it's a data-informed decision-making framework that we use to support students' social, emotional, behavioral needs. It's a preventative approach to support, where we create safe, predictable environments by defining school-wide expectations, teaching those, noticing and acknowledging those, and then correcting them using an instructional approach to social-emotional behavior.
So Jess, this is really a transformation in our school culture.
Yes, it is, and that does take time. We started 2 years ago with the district leadership team just trying to learn more about PBIS and how we could integrate that into our district based on some of the data we were seeing with numbers of suspensions, some behavior issues going on in the school. And we really want to be proactive with that. So that's how we connected with Kimberly. And since that time, this past year, we've spent with 9 early adopting schools throughout the county. We have 6 elementary, 2 middle, and 1 high school who are going through some pretty extensive, not only training, but really this is empowering our principals, our teachers, into making some of those decisions based on data that are going to help kids in the classroom. There's a lot of student engagement. We've been in all of our schools. We've done something called learning walks where we just go in and observe, and we look at students and say, hey, what are the school rules? What are the class rules? Explain those to me. What are those positive things going on in your building? And we want to make sure that each school has a mission and a vision, and everybody can talk that talk and walk that walk.
Kimberly, and probably one of the most important words in all of PBIS is that word positive. Mm-hmm. And it plays such a huge role in how, in guiding the culture change in the school. Mm-hmm. So kind of explain a little bit about the positive nature of PBIS, because that's a huge shift.
Sure. So traditionally, our response to student social emotional behavior is a reactionary approach. Mm-hmm. And with PBIS, we're looking to put prevention supports in place where we prevent as much as we can through an instructional, supportive, restorative approach. And then we look at the data to say, something's going on with this student. What can we do now instead of waiting for that student to accumulate 20, 30 office referrals? We use data to say, hey, something's going on and we need to intervene now and use a more proactive, positive approach to that experience for that child.
And as you said, this is a nationwide effort. What are some of the experiences and some of the things that you've seen from a national perspective with PBIS?
Yeah, nationally, we see a lot of partnerships with community, a lot of student voice and engagement, family engagement with this. The community actually wraps around the school system, and it becomes part of the way we live together, the way we work together.
And that's, again, another big reason, Jess, why we are so excited about a PBIS, because, you know, as Kim said, it's a whole community approach to learning.
Right, and some of the challenges that we're seeing with trauma and social, emotional issues going on with schools and families, it really does take a village, and school is going to do their part, and we really need the support of our parents to team with us to try to prevent and wrap around services for kids. You know, I think we've done a great job of teaching math and teaching reading, but now we want to make sure that we're all also teaching behavior and expectations and what is respect and what is being responsible. And with the PBIS umbrella, we are looking not only at social and emotional learning, we're looking at trauma for students, we're looking at diversity and equity in our schools, we're looking at substance abuse definitely playing a part. So there are many tenets to PBIS. Bullying is another big approach that we're rolling out this fall with all of our teachers and all of our students. So it's going to take a village, and we want to partner with our parents, and we need parents to understand what we're doing and hopefully to gain their support to work with us to build a more positive environment.
And Kimberly, this is something that doesn't happen, number one, in a vacuum, but number two, doesn't happen overnight.
No. Now, we really acknowledge that changing culture, that changing our practices and the ways in which we engage with behavior takes time. And so we often say it's better to go slow, to go fast, than to hurry something in place. We measure what we're doing. We're very reflective and intentional with what we do, and we get feedback from all of the stakeholders in the school community so that it is reflective of the culture of the school community.
And Jess, you had also mentioned, you know, this is starting to play a very key role in our bullying program, but also in another area that has become very sadly something that we all have to be very conscious of, and that is suicide.
Absolutely. This year in Roanoke County, we were able, as part of this initiative, to implement something called the Signs of Suicide curriculum, and we started with 8th graders, and next year we're expanding that to all of our 7th graders in the middle school, because suicide is tragic, and we've certainly experienced several losses in the recent past, and we want to prevent that. We want our kids to understand what are those signs. You need to tell someone, you need to say something, and that's really what we're all about.
So this is an exciting time. This is something that is going to be going on throughout our schools. You're going to see a lot more and hear a lot more about PBIS throughout this whole school year and in coming school years. And so, you know, we're really excited. I think this is going to be, again, it's a huge transformation in our school system and in our culture. So thank you guys so much for being with us as we start down this journey of implementing PBIS in all our schools.
Thank you.
And stay right there, because we have a lot more Accent Excellence still to come.
If you would like to adopt a pet, did you know that you can also go to the RCACP website and their Facebook page to look at pets for adoption? It's easy to do. Simply go to their website at rcacp.org or visit their Facebook page. Both sites include information and pictures of animals waiting to be adopted. Help make a difference in the life of a pet today. Adopt from the Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Accent Excellence. To stay in touch with Roanoke County Public Schools, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter. And of course, you can always check us out online at www.rcps.us. I'm Chuck Leinberger. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.